they've got it secured to the, yeah. So they don't use the trains in this lot.
No.
Douglas, do you know?
I don't know how they keep them centered. They're expecting not to have to use the tugboats in the future, but
Seriously?
yes.
Oh.
So that mean it'll be all on the boat captains to keep it from hitting the wall.
Yeah, and they're supposed to have side thrusters.
Oh. Then what about the wind? Sure, yeah.
They get those big piles of. Oh, look at that one going now, way over there.
This is fantastic.
And the gates are broad enough that they can use them to drive cars across.
No, yeah, well, you can see that.
What is this whistle going for?
Are these the slide gates?
Yes.
So they slide back into that area there?
Yes.
Before I came here, I was reading they had some trouble with
The new complex of locks includes only one lane of navigation. This new lane was divided in 3 steps, 3 levels, or better known for us as chambers.
There's a boat.
Right in front, overlock chamber. Alright, that siren that we just heard is a warning indicating gate displacement. Take a close look in front. You will notice one of the sliding doors in motion. The process will take only 5 minutes.
Both
Steel
going.
doors built in Italy. As you can see, we have double doors. We have a pair in every lockhead. It's a redundancy that we practice in the canal for safety and for a better maintenance. The dry bulker right in front, it's ready to keep transiting to the Pacific. This vessel have reached Gatun Lake. And by the way, Gatun Lake on your left is 85 feet above sea level. It's all fresh water all around. The water for the Panama Canal operation is only fresh water. Water from rainfall and rivers. So in that way we can say fresh water is our fuel or gas. It's necessary, so that's why the whole vegetation around the watershed is protected to guarantee the water cycle. Fortunately, we have 9-month rainy season in Panama. And this is the perfect time to be here. Dry season, January to March.
pretty Mickey Mouse compared to this.
You can feel this breeze coming from the sea, from the Caribbean Sea
Yeah, we don't have locks.
into mainland. It's an indicator we are in dry season. Sunny and pretty all the time. Let's enjoy this sunshine this morning. Perfect day. Across the locks, right in front to the west, you can see the original complex of locks or the conventional lock system named Gatun. There's a dry bulk carrier over there as well. So those are used to carry dry cargo such as rice and beans. That one is heading northbound to the right to the Caribbean Sea. So that's the old system. Both the conventional and new system operate at the same time. This is a strategy in order to increase cargo capacity. That's what it's all about.
His English accent is unusual.
Vessels with the maximum size allowed to transit the canal have been denominated as Panamax, Panama maximum capacity, And the new category for the ones using this new lane, denominated as Neo Panamax.
The other
We
groups
can
are
compare
off to the right.
the conventional lanes and the new one according to its dimensions. Every single lane through the conventional system is 110 feet wide. Through here, the new one is 180. So this new lane is 60% wider than the conventional system. In general terms, the new locks are 30% larger than the original.
The tie lines are gone to the, yeah.
Well, you can see the smoke that emanates from the smokestack, indicating it's accelerating, braking inertia. It's moving slowly and carefully,
Yeah.
ready to keep with the transit to the Pacific. Every transit, every vessel takes 8 to 10 hours average through the journey ocean to ocean. Once again, on your right, Caribbean Sea, which is part of the Atlantic Ocean. And 50 miles away on the left, the Pacific. The body of water in between, fresh water, man-made lake, Gatun.
You stay here all day.
Oh, I think he could. Totally. And look how low.
Then getting ready to do those things.
This is just stunning.
On the left, we have an anchorage area. We have some vessels
Yeah, I noticed that.
in the lead time, couple of hours before to keep transiting. So, as a strategy, we do use this space to accommodate ships through the waterway, throughout the waterway. 35 to 40 ships every day. They're waiting their turn, so they have numbers. And by the way we replace their names by numbers, it's way much easier for us to recognize every vessel through the canal by numbers. The ones heading southbound to the Pacific, they get even numbers, and the ones heading to the Caribbean, to the north, to the right, they get numbers, just for you to know. So remember, we have vessels from all over. Sometimes these vessels have some rare names, not so common for us, quite complicated, so better numbers. Way up on the mast of this dry bulker, we have Panamanian flag, 3 colors, blue, red, white, 2 stars. That one indicates we have, this vessel has courtesy of transit. There's another flag, half white, half red. That one indicates there are Panama Canal pilots on board. And they're responsible through the journey, ocean to ocean. It is mandatory here that the captain surrender the command to our pilots as the main requirement to be able to transit the waterway. We need pilots on board. Depending on vessel size, we have at least a pilot, or it could be 3 or 4 of them. Right now, they are on the bridge, supervising the operation, keeping in touch by radio with the operators of the control tower on the right, that building, the gray building on your right. Also, they talk with the captain of tugboats, the small boats we have ahead of the vessel and right behind, in order to control this maneuver. But they are in charge. They are the ones taking orders to everybody else involved in this operation. 8 to 10 hours, the transit, much better. than 2 weeks going around South America. This shortcut, the Panama Canal, reduce time and distance and a lot of money. So let's imagine if this vessel is paying $300,000 through here. Same vessel going around would invest over $3 million. So that's a great advantage with the Panama Canal. That's why these vessels are here.
It's the first time they've done that.
They're used to go back and forth because it's convenient.
But if it's only 110.
In the Panama Canal, we keep benefiting the international trade. This is the Great Connection, 103 years, heading to 104 years, connecting the world. Panama Canal was opened in 1914, and the expanded canal, this new lane, was opened on 2016, so it's quite new. So that's why this process takes a little bit longer than the old system. But it's relative because these vessels can carry 3 times more cargo, and that's what is important. That's what it matters. These vessels able to accommodate more cargo. They're reducing their operational costs as well. For instance, through the old system, we have vessels carrying as max 5,000 TEUs, 20-foot equivalent units, about containers of 20 feet. Through here as max, 14,000. 3 times more. Of course, because major cargo capacity, their fees or tolls are higher, 3 times as well. So far, the highest toll ever paid through the canal, obviously through this new lane of navigation, was a container ship named Theodore Roosevelt with barely over 14,000 TEUs on board. That one paid $1,200,000. But if this vessel decides not using the canal and goes around South America, would invest over $10 million. See, that's the Panama Canal work.
But that's what I don't understand is why would it be so much more expensive to go around?
Time.
Time?
Well, you can say hello to the pilots with your hands from side to side. Yes, they're giving their best. They're giving their best every single
You gotta
day.
pay the
24 hours, 24/7.
pay all the employees on the
Yeah.
Year long, non-stop. That's the Panama Canal.
Yeah.
China, the U.S.
Even in holidays. It doesn't matter, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, or New Year. We're open, connecting the world. We have vessels carrying goods to 1,700 ports in 160 countries through 144 routes. All these routes using the Panama Canal. Well, it seems like these vessels that we have this morning are not Neo-Panamax. So what that means? So that means these vessels probably can fit through the old system because they're not big. They're not so big. So sometimes the priority through here is for Neo-Panamax. But sometimes if the Panama Canal decide to pass some regular ships through here, they're able to do it as well. All right?
The other guy's pulling. This guy's pulling back this way.
He's steering.
Usually when this
He's
happens,
steering.
it's when one of the original lanes is under maintenance. Could be a reason. In the old system, there are 2 lanes of navigation, but to provide maintenance to the gates or doors of the old system, we have to shut down a lane to remove them. So it could be for a couple of hours. So is one of the reasons why we have Panamax through these Neo-Panamax locks. The whistle that we just heard came from Panama Canal tugboat completing the process. This tugboat is done, is asking to the line handlers on board, our crew, to release the ropes. The vessel is ready to move without the Panama Canal tugboats. Panama Canal tugboats are used to assist vessels through the narrowest sections of the canal. Could be the canal entrances, like the locks, and also in the Pacific we have Culebra Cut or Gaylord Cut, the narrowest section of the canal. The specific point where the continental divide was cut or divided. Only 8 miles. 8 miles of land were excavated throughout the 50 miles of the canal. The rest of the mountain area was flooded, as you can see. The islands on your left are basically the top of hills and mountains. This is part of the Rocky Mountains that comes from US in Colorado. Yes, indeed, the islands on your left. They look like islands, but they're mountains. We're ready to close the gates, sliding doors. This is one of the differences between the old system and the new one. In the old system, we have miter gates that open and close as a hinge. Right here, we have sliding or rolling doors. These new gates were made by steel, and they're hollow. As you can see right in front, they have some holes, but they're sealed and includes in the bottom a floating chamber, like a huge float, in order to reduce its weight with water inside, obviously. It reduces its weight 85% to slide easily from side to side.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a 300 more.
Yeah.
Well, 747 so we air pressure. Yeah, well,
I was inserting my great-great-grandmother who walked across the
I remember that. Yeah, you're still getting
And also, it's on my bucket list. Not everybody wants to
No.
Now someplace else in the world. You want to stand here? I couldn't give up my place. I should get in the shade anyway. I don't want to take my
Oh, all right.
The other gates are closing as well.
In upstate New York.
rode my bicycle on the river canal. Niagara Falls to our harbor.
Well, believe it or not, in that single space right in front, the upper lock chamber, from gate to gate, door, we have 1,400 feet. It is possible to fit an Empire State Building like the one in New York laid down in this single space, believe it or not. An Empire State Building laid down in this upper lock chamber right in front. So that big are the new locks. Every chamber, every level managed same dimensions. 1,400 feet long,
There's room here if you want.
180 feet wide.
Taking like crazy.
And the width capacity is the most important thing in these new locks. The width capacity. We have 180 feet and the maximum beam allowed vessels with 160 feet. This time we're not using the electric locomotives, the mules. Do you know the locomotive, huh? You know what I'm talking about. So we use tugboats. And also, we practice a mooring maneuver. So that means we need to secure vessels with ropes to the beats or bollard posts that are the yellow dots all lined up on top of the wall. In other words, we attach vessels to the wall. So that is in order to keep it steady, to stabilize them in here. It's different. It's quite different than the conventional system. But let me tell you something. Using tugboats and attaching vessels to the walls, it's good for the canal operation. Because in that way, we reduce equipment involved, personnel, and of course, operational costs. Why no locomotive involving here? Well, just because the new design. So, in Europe, Netherlands, Belgium, they already have this system. We get some advices from them. We travel to those countries to improve the system in here.
They're pretty good about not trying to take credit for everything.
The expanded canal was possible because 78% of the whole population vote in favor of this undertaking through a national referendum. Do you know that? National referendum in 2006. We need to vote to approve this construction. The expanded canal construction began in 2007, and after 9 years, this was the result. 2 new complexes of locks with the same characteristics. This is in the Atlantic side, named Agua Clara. There's another one in the other end, 50 miles away, southwest of Miraflores Locks. Over there we have Cocoli. Cocoli and Agua Clara
Water's
are
going
the
down.
new complexes with only 1 lane of navigation and water-saving basins. And by the way, right now, take a look on the basin right next to the upper lock chamber. See the water turbulence?
We're not used to that from California.
So that means we're transferring water right now from the locks into the first basin, all by gravity fed. We do not use water pumps to transfer water. The basins in the other side were built in 3 steps. The highest is the nearest of the locks. That's the highest. The one in the middle goes down, and the lowest is the far one, the third one at the distance. Got it? 3 steps. Locks and basins are all connected by culvert system, gigantic tunnels. To control the water flows, we have hydraulic valves that work as smaller gates or doors. When we open it, water runs by pressure, naturally, by gravity, from the highest to the lowest point. Right now we have the maximum level in the locks. So that's why water level is higher than water level on basins. That's why it's possible to use a gravity effect. Got it? The water is heading this time. Let's call the near basin number 1, the one in the middle number 2, the far one number 3. The water is heading 1, 2, 3 right now. 60% of the whole water required for the lockage. The lockage is when we raise or lower a vessel in only one level. Okay? That's the lockage. Go up or down. 60% of the water goes to the basins. That 60% is going to be reused 3 to 4 times. So that means 3 to 4 ships will use the same amount of water before to release it to the ocean. This is in order to save water, which is our gas or petrol, all right? So what happens when we transfer the 60% of the water to the basins? We have to transfer 2 more portions of water from the locks to the next chamber where the vessel is on the right. Got it? When that happens, in the locks, we'll stay with the minimum level required in the locks. The minimum level. That minimum level is lower than the water level on the 3 basins in the other side. So that means if what we want is to raise the ship, the water from the basins will come this time 3, 2, 1. Got it? 3, 2, 1. By gravity as well. No pumps at all. So that's the way of this water reutilization. And all this is in order to save our main resource, fresh water. The water, once we release it to the ocean, comes again from the lake. Besides Gatun Lake, we have Alajuela Lake in the upper parts of Chagas River, which is feeding the watershed as well, and it's part of the watershed as well. And then the water comes again from rainfall. It's time to protect the environment, all right? Water turbulence in the middle basin, number 2. We are equalizing water levels in the upper and middle lock chamber because the vessel in the middle is going on.
See the water level in the other lakes.
Well, some details about Noble Salud.
Almost up there.
That was the first vessel we had right in front a couple of minutes ago. Well, it's a Neo-Panamax. It's a Neo-Panamax, but that Neo-Panamax is 124 feet wide, only 124 feet. So that's why it looks so small, but